Have you noticed that backbenchers in your class are very successful in the society? I'm talking specifically about backbenchers in probably secondary school or university days. Those people that you see as backbenchers, have you noticed that they are always very successful? Either they end up as big politicians, or they are business owners, company owners, or very successful even in specific careers. Of course, in every class you have front benchers, middle benchers, and backbenchers. You see, conventional wisdom that creates the impression that those who do well in school get good jobs, or that you sit in front so that you can get good grades and then get a good job and be successful in your career. You see, that conventional wisdom is flawed. It's been established that there is no relationship between a student's academic achievements and success in life. So you see, it boils down to you as an individual, not what you do in class. Even if we specifically focus on Nigerian schools, this also happens in many other parts of the world. But we're talking about Nigerian schools now. You are in class. You are struggling to understand what the teacher is saying. You want to do well in class. Now you see some persons, let's say some boys called backbenchers. When you guys graduate 10, 20 years after, you find out that backbenchers end up employers of labor, while frontbenchers, or let's say toppers in class, those who had the best grades, end up employees. In most cases, that's what happens. And why is that? Focus, challenge, determination, belief. This is what backbenchers enjoy, or those you think are backbenchers enjoy. You see, exam-oriented education which we have in school does not help in developing capabilities and potentials. It makes you memorize the facts and have good grades, and then the belief in you, the inner aspect of you that brings out the creative beast in you, is left untouched. In most cases, you are struggling to pass a course because the lecturer is interested in you passing the course and not you developing the creative beast in you. So you see, the backbenchers have this belief that they already have something they want to do in life, not the degree they are having, because they've seen themselves as not doing well in the degree. So they are either focused on developing something when they graduate, becoming business people, becoming politicians. They begin to nurture this from day one in school. So that focus keeps them on a particular track, and when they come out from school, it's easy for them to follow that track and then continue in what they've been thinking about for 4 years in school. Maybe it could be a business, it could be to join politics, it could be trading, it could be to raise funds to start a company. But the fact is that these backbenchers have focus, whereas the frontbenchers who eventually get good degree rely on the degree to give them a good job. And what happens, especially in the Nigerian society, what happens? They get disappointed. When they get jobs, they rely on those jobs, and they are not as creative as the backbenchers. The backbenchers end up creating companies, and then the best in the class end up working for them. So you see, focus. You are in class, you see what is happening, especially in the Nigerian educational system. You see what is happening. You know that the degree is not going to help you get anything serious in town. You know that the system no longer respects the degree, and you are sitting there in class waiting to have good grades. I'm not saying it's not good to have good grade, but while having that good grade, you should think like the backbencher. Think like that man who already has a focus in life. You see, while a frontbencher, think like the backbencher. You say, this thing I'm being taught, is it going to help me when I graduate with this degree? Am I going to do anything tangible with it, especially in the Nigerian society that I'm using as an example? If the answer is a big no to you, then you begin from day one to think like the backbencher. So you see, when you as a frontbencher struggle to get the good lecture, that's very good. Struggle to get the good grade, that's very good. Struggle to get the good result. When you come out, what do you see? You begin to look for companies which most times were established by backbenchers. Now, it may not even be a company. It could be other businesses that these backbenchers established, but the fact is that they were focused, and then they had belief, because already they've noticed that the academic system cannot give them what they want, or that they are not good in academics. So they believe in themselves, they believe in their goal, and then they begin to work towards achieving their goal once they leave school. Most times they don't even step into the society to look for a job. No, they focus on those goals, and then they believe in those goals, and they are determined to achieve those goals. That's what those people you see as backbenchers do. Because the frontbencher, or those that top the class, believe in the degree they're having, they come out and then they get disappointed because they rely on the jobs they get. The exam system did not give them the room to develop their inner being, to develop those skills, so they will need to refocus their life once they come out to make it outside school. The backbencher may have been challenged in class, maybe by the lecturer who said, you can't make it in life. Or they may have been challenged by the fact that people were doing well in school, having good grades, but they behind, they couldn't have good grades. So the challenge will make them, once they leave school, they will struggle to follow that their own private goal, and that is maybe to establish a business, to run a company, to go into politics, or to have something that will end up being employer of labor. Of course, there are backbenchers that do well in class, they have good grades, but many backbenchers are seen as no goods in class. They are seen as people who are unserious. But at the end of the day, 5-10 years down the line, after school, you see that they are the ones that are doing very well in the society in different aspects of life. And that is what we're saying. When you are in class, even if you're a front bencher, you can think like the backbencher. You can have a focus, you check the degree you're studying, and ask yourself, is this going to help me in the society where I am studying? If the answer is a fat no, then you begin to have a focus in life from day one in school. No matter the level you are in now, there is still time to have that focus to think like a backbencher, so that when you come out, you won't rely on those good grades and get disappointed at the end of the day. The backbencher doesn't fear failure because they are used to failure already in school. They may have passed their exams, but failure here is in terms of the fact that everybody seems to be above them, and then they struggle to pass. So they are used to failure in the academic setting, but when they come out in the society, they fight failure and they make sure they succeed because of that determination they have, and because they already had this goal in mind, and that is why they succeed. So you see, you find a way to think like a backbencher, even if you're going to sit in front or in the middle, or even if you had the best grade in class. The fact is that you should think of being focused and think of what you want to achieve once you leave school.